I just wrote this today, so let's not bullshit each other. I'm going to be looking at these notes the entire time. I have been to a lot of conferences. I've had the very distinct pleasure and privilege to do so. I've been to a lot of PyCons. My first PyCon was 5 years ago, and it was in Montreal, and I felt pretty freaking special to be able to go. So I'm saying this because I've also been to a lot of regionals. I'm saying this to tell you that I've also seen a lot of closing remarks, and I feel like a normal person would have referenced that and used it as notes and stuck to the script. But I am not, well, I'm normal. I'm just not like everyone else. You know, I'm a little different. Uche told you, we do things a little bit differently here. I also don't think that this is, you know, a typical regional. Well, let's see. Where are we going to go with things? I am going to cover a couple facts. And first, I'd like to give you a report on conduct. I'm very pleased to announce that as of now, we've had only 2 conduct violations reported, and they weren't actually committed by any of the attendees. There was a bike stolen yesterday from out front. It did belong to an attendee. And then there was the now infamous ketchup incident. It happened in the park yesterday during lunch. I'm not going to talk about it. But if you see me sometime, I'll tell you the story. It's a good one. That means that all of y'all have been an exemplary model for what makes the Python community what it is. So one more round of applause for yourselves. And also, we, the organizers, thank you very much. All right, that doesn't mean that I'm going to skip over important information. As an engineer, I understand the importance of data as quantitative representation to any event. And we're going to share with you all of it, because data is how we measure what happened. However, we are going to take a major detour and look at the qualitative side, because that's what I think tells us how it happened, okay? So let's go by the numbers. We're committed to full transparency here, and I have confirmed with all of the organizers that I'm allowed to say this. That will forever be a core value of PyColorado. I don't want you to make any mistakes. We are not a nonprofit. PyColorado has been planned, executed, and carried out by a small team of very passionate volunteers. No one here earns anything for the work that they've put into this. So let's start with attendance, okay? We set a goal of having 350 attendees. That was including ourselves, the organizers, speakers, exhibitors. We sold 254 tickets between the conference and the workshops combined. As you know, we had 2 days of talks, 16 total, plus 2 great keynotes, and 2 workshops on Friday. Now you know what we're working with, right? Let's look at the economics involved to make this thing actually happen. The total income for the conference was $91,190. We actually don't know if that's good for a first-year conference. We don't have anything to compare it to. The sales number here actually aggregates all tickets and t-shirt pre-sales. And I will mention that this is gross revenue. And we haven't factored in t-shirt sales from today yet, so that will get added as well. Venue costs include this space, Sculpture Park, the food trucks, catering, the speaker dinner, opening reception, and the workshops. Operations are things like signage, badges, insurance, email and web services, videography. Marketing, we're including anything printed and digital, stickers, artwork, the motion graphics that have been running all weekend. And the other category is a catch-all for things like speaker gifts, tips for the venue staff, and other incidentals that you are bound to encounter along the way. Finally, there's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and credit card processing fees. Like I said, we're still working with estimated costs, especially for the venue for today, venue and catering for today, and we haven't calculated those t-shirt sales. But we have been meticulously tracking every cent. At this moment, we know that PyColorado is in the black and that we've netted approximately $12,000. Putting on a conference like this requires money. That's unavoidable, okay? In the first year's conference, biggest struggle is that they're starting from scratch and have to build up the relationships with corporate sponsors to make these economics work. But money is a resource that is only part of the equation, and it's also, I believe, tightly coupled to the quantitative side of operations, putting something like this on. The other resource that conferences need, and one that I am gonna get a little emotional. I forgot the fucking tissues in the war room. Okay, the other resource that conference need, I don't need them, Scott, I'm good. I think it's required before this concept even exists. I arrived in Denver on September 23rd, 2016, which means that my Colorado status is still at toddler. And in fact, I didn't even meet Scott and Zoe for another year when I was speaking at Boulder Python. Actually, the story how I became a co-organizer of Boulder Python is really funny. I was standing at the podium. I was introduced by Ian Scott. Ian Scott? No, I got his last name wrong. Ian Scott is here from Occipital, and I confused them. Ian Douglas, thank you. Ian made an announcement that he was stepping down. Scott was new, Zoe was new, and they were looking for a new organizer. And I remember standing at the podium in front of this very computer with a microphone in my hand, and I said my favorite movie line of all time, "I'm your Huckleberry." Also, I wasn't a stranger to community development or even organizing Python meetups, and I wanted that to happen when I showed up there that night. I didn't know it was gonna happen that night, but I wanted it to. If you know me, you know I tend to bring a lot of ambition and passion to anything that I get involved in. And a friend once told me that I don't know how to have hobby. I just don't know how to hobby. It's true, I'm either in 100% or I'm not gonna do it. This is really easy to do. Like, it's really easy to go all in with the Python community. You remember Rachel's talk from earlier? This community is very beloved. Paul and Eva and many other reasons along the weekend have shown and told you why. But it also opens a lot of doors. It's given me the chance for some incredible experiences, and it's connected me to people who've become close and dear friends that I will keep for life. But I'll be honest with you all about something. This was hard. This was me on Wednesday, right before we stuffed all the swag bags. I have a really funny idea about swag bags that I'll gladly tell you later if you want to know. There is also no picture after the swag bag stuffing for very, very good reason. But this isn't about me. This isn't about me at all. It's about the team and how we lift each other up. A year ago, organizers Zoe Uche, Scott, and Emily Freeman held a panel on building development communities with purpose that we presented during Denver Startup Week. But the picture in this photo is actually from March of 2018. It's like a year and a half before this. And a few things have changed along the way, but not one, and that was our passion for community and how much we care about it. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. PyColorado is only possible because a lot of incredible people step up to help. We're going to honor them with a tradition I like to call the Brandon Rhodes Arpeggio of Applause. I learned this from Brandon when he was chairing PyCon in Portland, and here's how it works, okay? I'm going to begin reading a list of names. As soon as I start, I want you all to start clapping and continue clapping until I've gotten through the entire list. If you hear your name, I want you to stand up and be recognized for the effort and contributions that you have brought for us with this conference. I've always wanted to do this, so here we go. To the staff of the Opera House, Caitlin, Joseph, Ben, Laura, Charles, Lauren, Lee, Martha, Robert, Samuel, Flenty, Hubbard, and especially Javier Aaron. Sir, your gift is your care and compassion for your job, but your superpower is your attention to detail. Thank you. To Jen and Jody with the City of Denver for helping us secure Sculpture Park 4 days before the conference. Jen came on her day off yesterday to help us set it up. To our sponsors, the Python Software Foundation, VictorOps, JetBrains, Mike McCaffrey, Occipital, Linode, Microsoft, Heroku, Twitter, and Cuddlesoft. To our wonderful volunteers, Brad, John, Anna, Barrett, Bill, Christo, Ian, Kathleen, Katie, Lalitha, Marissa, Mickey, Mike, Minna, and Rami. To regional organizers who have helped us on the way, Don, Jeff, Ernest, Marietta, Dustin Ingram, Dave Ford, Jack, and Jessica West. To our vendors, Megan Powers, Sonny Chan, Shelby and Cindy from Confreaks, Mike Scarano, Colin Walters from Hobo Headwear. To my family at Cuddlesoft, Micah, Holly, Daria, Adam, Marissa, Katie, and Emily, I love you all so much. To our speakers, Chris, Uche, Eva, Rami, Andrew, Moshe, Jordan, Gabriel, Christy, Joe, William, Lynn Root, Joseph, Willie, Rachel, Ashton, William, Dustin Ingram, and Paul Everett. And to my fellow organizers, Michael Herman, Uche, Diana File, Bill Tucker, Aaron, Zoe Farmer, Laura Wickett, and Emily Freeman. And of course, my co-chair, Scott. This has been a wild ride, buddy. And I couldn't have asked for a better co-pilot. Thank you all very much. And I hope to see you again next year.